three. LeBron.
Here is the honest-to-God's answer to the question which has remained unanswered for many decades now. Who is the NBA's greatest of all time? The world has witnessed a large number of great players who graced the NBA, playing the beautiful game of basketball. The likes of Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Magic Johnson, Stephen Curry, and the list of greats goes on and on. However, the battle for the crown of who is the greatest of all time remains a single match between the magnificent Michael Jordan and the king, LeBron James. Keep it locked in till the end as we reveal the shocking truth of who the real GOAT is. The battle for the throne to become the undisputed GOAT has been unending, with many fans having to choose between MJ and LeBron. Fans have valid points to prove why their choice is the right choice, with each great surpassing the other in one category or another. Championships. The number one category when debating who's better in any sports in the world is the number of championships a player has won compared to the other, and this is not different in the NBA. For this category, Jordan currently has the upper hand. He has won more championships than LeBron. MJ played in 6 NBA Finals and has won all 6 championship rings, winning it 3 times consecutively twice in the years 1991, 92, 93, 96, 97, and 98 during his 13-year career, while LeBron has played 10 NBA Finals, winning just 4 championships in 2012, 2013, 2016, and 2020 during his 19-year career and counting. The rings argument is what puts MJ ahead of LeBron, being that MJ has won more rings and is a consistent champion. But then, championship rings shouldn't carry that much weight. If they did, the greatest player ever would be Bill Russell, who won 11 championships in his 13-year career. Also, in LeBron's defense, he has been said to be quite unfortunate, playing alongside some mediocre teammates who don't have the drive or the skills to be next to a great. However, that still doesn't dispute the fact that MJ has achieved more in terms of championships when squared up with LeBron. Stats. Another very important category when determining the GOAT is the stats pad of the players. Statistically speaking, LeBron is doing better than MJ and will still have better stats when his time in the NBA is over. LeBron currently has more career points, rebounds, assists, and blocks compared to MJ. The only categories MJ leads right now are steals and free throws, but James isn't too far behind, and he could potentially beat him by the time he retires. MJ had a total of 32,292 career points, while LeBron has 37,062 career points, and counting. In the same way, LeBron has higher totals in assists, blocks, and rebounds. These stats keep counting in favor of LeBron, considering the fact that he still has a few years of basketball left in him. His stats will continue to improve and will continue to bolster him in front of MJ. Now, LeBron has cemented himself as the GOAT with individual brilliance. MJ's faith in the GOAT debate has deemed the stats pad as an unfair category because MJ played fewer seasons. How else can the greats then be judged? Instead of looking at career totals, let's look at career averages. Looking at averages, MJ averages more points and steals, while LeBron averages more assists. However, when using the advanced stats metric, which grades these two players based on player efficiency rating, win shares per 48, offensive box plus minus, defensive box plus minus, value over replacement, and true shooting percentage. These advanced stats rate the player's efficiency, production, value, impact, and pretty much everything that matters. And in these 6 advanced stats, MJ exceeds LeBron in 5 out of 6. He is more efficient, he contributes to more wins and more points, he's better on defense, and generally more valuable on the court than LeBron is. The only advanced stat LeBron tops MJ in is true shooting percentage. Now, from all indications, we can factually and confidently say MJ is a better basketball player than LeBron. But then, if you look real close at these numbers, MJ is just a fraction ahead of LeBron. They are both very close. And then, we're not talking about who is the best of all time, we are asking who the GOAT is. The greatest supersedes being better. So let's get into other categories. Awards. Both superstars have an impressive record when talking about the number of NBA awards they have. During his playing days, MJ has been honored with 5 regular season MVPs, while LeBron has 4. Both men have also won a Finals MVP each time they won a championship, leaving MJ at 6 and LeBron at 4. LeBron has 17 NBA All-Star appearances to MJ's 14, and this is still set to grow in LeBron's favor, being that he is still active and also top 5 in the world. LeBron also has more All-NBA selections and All-NBA first-team selections as compared to MJ, but MJ has more All-Defensive and All-Defensive first-team selections. Honestly, you could go all day about who has more awards and show how one individual is better than the other, but ultimately, these two athletes go neck and neck in each category, with MJ edging ahead in awards and LeBron edging in honors. Many feel that MJ is way better, saying that LeBron is only ahead in honors because he's still active. But then why do people see LeBron being active to date in the NBA as a factor to negate his greatness, rather than seeing it as proof of his true greatness? Longevity. An ancient quote by the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu says, "The flame that burns twice as hard burns half as long." This quote regards excellence and its sustainability. So it's either you shine exceptionally as a star, or shine not so bright but shine for a longer time. Which would you prefer? You see, in basketball and the world of sports in general, usually being exceptional translates to longevity and vice versa. MJ was outstanding for 13 seasons in the NBA. His burning flame was lit, and it did shine for quite some time. But then what if there was another player whose shine wasn't as bright, but 95% close, and has been burning for more than 19 seasons? Who will you say is greater? The player that shined brightest and went off, or the player that shined bright too and is still shining to date? You see, being great sometimes goes beyond numbers, accolades, and honors. Being great has to be long and sustainable. How good are you? Can you keep being good for so long? Many LeBron fans have debated that he is greater than MJ because he stayed longer in the NBA than MJ did. Not only that, MJ's dominance and numbers started depreciating as he approached his last 5 seasons. So the question still beckons, will MJ still be relevant if he had kept on playing? Whereas in the case of LeBron, he has remained top 5 in the league till this very day. And the only question that there is right now, is there ever any chance of stopping LeBron? Michael Jordan had been the best long before LeBron James got into the NBA. LeBron was drafted in 2004, a year after MJ called it quits. So not only was MJ LeBron's inspiration and idol, he has remained LeBron's motivation and driving force. Some will say he has been LeBron's only competition. LeBron is still playing because of the records held by MJ. What MJ did in 13 seasons, LeBron can't topple all in 19 seasons and counting? Then maybe MJ didn't necessarily need the longevity. Or was he lucky to have played in an easier era than LeBron's era? Or maybe LeBron is playing in a weaker league, because how can one man play for 19 seasons and remain top 5? Level of competition. The level of competition has to be the most controversial category in the GOAT debate. How can one judge these two great players based on the competition they faced during their era? These two players were also in the same era as some of the greatest players that have graced the NBA. To name just a few, MJ faced Magic, Bird, Barkley, Malone, and a whole lot of other players from the 80s and 90s. LeBron, in another era, has faced Durant, Curry, Kobe, Duncan, and a whole lot of other athletes from the 2000s, 2010s, and now the 2020s. It's hard to compare both eras. This is because you cannot confidently or conveniently say that one era was better than the other. All eras have been significantly important to the rise and growth of the beautiful game of basketball. MJ and LeBron didn't champion the game alone in the eras they were in, but they can be said to have been on top of all other players. Many often argue that if the players in the 90s had the luxury of sophisticated resources, from kits to gear, as players in the 2010s and 2020s do, they would have been twice as good. But then another fraction contradicts that argument, saying that the players in the 90s had it easier due to the influx of rules in basketball now. Players found it easier to move with the ball and score more points then. Was it easier back then? Are players aided by more resources to play better now? Was the competition of the MJ era easier than that of LeBron's? Well, we cannot tell. It's all left to you and your preference. In conclusion, who is the GOAT? Here's the truth. Michael Jordan is the GOAT because he racked up amazingly incredible numbers. He remains undisputed in the NBA Finals. He has the most accolades as an MVP in the NBA, and he did so much in so little time. Whereas LeBron James is the GOAT because, for everything MJ has done, he is close to bettering. He has been consistently great for the longest time, and he has always said the only record he looks forward to breaking is the record for the most total number of career points. He sits second to the legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So the truth is, the GOAT debate will continue to linger forever and will stand in the hands of time because it all truly depends on who you choose. So, who do you think is the GOAT?